I'm not going to ask either of you whether you bought SpaceX or any of those kind of things, but I just wonder how AI is being felt in the global economy.
So I think we're seeing kind of three concrete impacts of AI already in the global economy, and then one big question mark for the future. I think the concrete impacts are, firstly, the impact already of the AI seen through the equity market, and particularly the US equity market, has been a driver and a sustainer of consumption in the US, because you've got the top one third of US households are very exposed to the US stock market, and that wealth effect has sustained consumption in the US longer than perhaps otherwise might have happened. You've seen the second one is a direct impact on capex and investment spending. This AI capex is now actually a macro theme, not just a sector story. It's driving the US economy, it's driving elements of inflation within that supply chain, and it's also a big driver of growth in some of the supply chain countries, particularly some of the Asian countries that are big suppliers into that supply chain. And then the third concrete impact has been dispersion at the sector and company level, where you're seeing markets price much more aggressively the winners and the losers from this AI world. And that's been a big differentiator in credit and equity markets. I think the big question mark is the one you alluded to, which is what is going to be the impact on productivity, and particularly, therefore, a kind of knock-on impact on hiring and labor markets. There is potential for AI to be a deflationary force in the global economy if it's positive for productivity, more output, but perhaps less hiring, perhaps more elevated unemployment and lower wage growth in some sectors of the labor market. We do think that on balance, when you're looking at the outlook for productivity and inflation, AI is there as a kind of deflationary, sort of positive risk for growth, negative risk for labor markets. But the jury is still out so far. Of course, the most important central banker in the world, the new Fed chair, Kevin Warsh, has spoken extensively about his view that AI is likely to be a driver of productivity growth and therefore allow more sustained growth in the US without sparking inflation.